You know what's funny? People hear, I stole from my company and got caught, and they instantly build the wrong movie in their head. They picture some slick criminal, some Wall Street wolf with shell accounts and burner phones, somebody grinning in a penthouse while money pour into hidden accounts. Nah, it was me, a guy who wore the same three office shirts in rotation, a guy who microwaved leftovers for lunch, and a guy who said, no worries, in emails while internally falling apart. There's nothing glamorous about stealing from your company when you are the kind of person who still compares cereal prices. I wasn't a genius, I wasn't evil either, but I was weak. That's a harder truth to live with. I worked in payroll operations for a regional manufacturing company. Fancy title, boring reality. My job was numbers and approvals and reimbursements, overtime adjustments, vendor payments when accounting got overloaded. If someone's mistake involved a spreadsheet, eventually it rolled downhill to me. And I was good at it. That matters, because being good at something while being ignored for it creates a very specific bitterness. Anyways, every year I trained people who later became my supervisors. Every quarter, management thanks us for pushing through, and every December they sent a holiday email calling us family. Family with frozen wages. Family with denied bonuses, and family that could apparently afford executive retreats but not proper staffing. I know I sound bitter, I still am some days. At home, things weren't exactly inspiring either. My apartment had a leak the landlord kept meaning to fix. My car made a noise mechanics described with expensive faces, and my younger brother called me twice in a month asking for money I didn't have. My mother never asked directly, which somehow made it worse. I was 34 and permanently one emergency away from panic. Then came the day everything tilted. Quarter end close. Chaos everywhere. Everyone stressed, pretending urgency was leadership, and I was reconciling state reimbursement queues and dormant payment records when I noticed something stupid. Old employee profiles were still active. Former contractor, temporary hires, people long gone. The records existed in that soft, lazy zone companies create when no one cleans system properly. And because I had access, I could see exactly how sloppy it all was. I remember staring at the screen longer than necessary. I wish I could say a devil whispered to me. Truth is uglier. No devil needed. My own voice was enough. Just one payment. That was the first thought. Not stealing thousand, just one. Just enough to breathe. I fought it for a week, maybe two. I'd ride home thinking about it. I'd shower thinking about it. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. doing moral math. Then one Friday evening, office mostly empty, rain hitting the windows, fluorescent lights making everyone look dead. And I did it. I reactivated an old contractor profile, changed the bank details to an account I'd opened month earlier for freelance work that never happened. And I processed a reimbursement batch with one extra line item, $742.16. I remember the exact number because shame brands memory. Whatever. It hit my account the following Tuesday. I sat in my car staring at the notification. Heart was pounding, hands shaking. I expected guilt like lightning. Instead, I felt oxygen. That's how dangerous desperation is. It can make wrongdoing feel like rescue. I paid my overdue electricity bill just like that. I then filled the fridge. I bought my mom groceries and pretended a friend had repaid an old debt. That night, I slept deeper than I had in months, and that sleep cost me everything later because once your body learns crime can bring relief, it starts recommending it, right? The second time was easier, then easier again. I changed methods, smaller amounts, random timings, different categories, expense corrections, and ratio adjustment, and of course, ghost reimbursements. Never greedy enough to look dramatic, never small enough to be pointless. I became disciplined in all the wrong ways. I tracked everything. I used separate accounts, kept notes in code, delete browser history like that mattered. At work, I became calmer. That's another sick joke. The more I stole, the more relaxed I seemed. That was shaking, fridge was filling, no collection calls. I even started dressing better, and of course, co-workers noticed. Look sharp lately. You seem happier, that's they said. I said, yeah, just yeah. Because that was the crime. Who glow up? I started saying yes to dinners, bought rounds of drinks, loaned my brother money, replaced my tires, got dental work I delayed for years. I looked like I was finally getting my life together, but I was actually building a trap around it. Over 11 months, I stole just under $48,000. See how I phrased that? Just under, as if the wording can make it smaller. That's the kind of mental rot I am talking about. Then she got hired. Lena. Every downfall story has somebody like Lena. Not an enemy, not a detective, just a competent person entering a lazy system. She joined internal controls after working for a bank. Quiet, direct, no interest in office politics, didn't gossip, didn't flirt either, didn't waste words. She asked precise questions and waited through uncomfortable silence until people answered. I disliked her immediately, which usually means someone threatens your dishonesty. Anyways, her job was to tighten process. My nightmare. That was my nightmare. She started requesting audit trials, historical approvals, exception reports, inactive profile access logs, nothing targeted, just paperwork and proper work. But proper work becomes personal when you are hiding something, right? I began sweating through normal conversations. She'd ask, "Can you resend March adjustments?" I'd hear, "I know what you did." She said, "Need clarification on duplicate timestamps?" I'd hear sirens, like literally. Fear made me sloppy. I rushed reversals, forgot one log entry, used an account twice too close together. Small errors, but fraud rarely dies from one giant mistake. It bleeds out from tiny ones. Then came Monday, 10:12 a.m. I know because trauma timestamps itself. So my manager messaged, "Can you come by HR when free?" When free? As if freedom was still on the table. The room had 3 people inside: manager, HR rep, Lena. No one smiles in a room like that. They asked me to sit. There was a folder, naturally, Why is there always a folder? Because humiliation loves paper. Then HR begin with formal language, routine review, irregularities identified, need to discuss transactions. Then Lena slid a spreadsheet toward me, color coded, need, beautiful. It mapped months of theft cleaner than I ever had. There was dates, amounts, linked approvals, access credentials, banking changes, timing anomalies, behavioral spikes. She had built my confession in cells and formulas, cleanly, beautifully. I looked at it and had this absurd thought. Great formatting. My manager asked if I had an explanation. There is something no one tells you about getting caught, right? Your body betrays you before your mouth does. My ears rang, my throat dried, my skin went cold. I opened my mouth to deny it and nothing believable came out. So I said the stupidest possible thing. How much do you know? Silence. That was my confession. I cried. I'm laughing here, but trust me, I cried. I just cried. Not noble tears, not cinematic tears, panic tears. That was ego collapse tears. I cried because the version of me I had been performing was dead and everyone in the room could see the body. They terminated me that day. Badge deactivated, laptop surrendered, escort to desk, people pretending not to watch while absolutely watching. I packed a mug, charger, sweater, one framed photo of my family. The walk to the elevator felt longer than my whole employment there. Legal consequences followed. Repayment plans, negotiation, no provision, partly because first offense, partly because companies like money return more than headlines. Still, there were police interviews. Still, there were records. Still, there was my mother learning the truth. She didn't hear. She said, "Were you hungry?" And I broke harder at that than in the HR room. Because yes, not for food anymore, but for relief, for dignity, for ease, and for a life that didn't feel like drowning. My brother called me. He called me an idiot. Also fair? Anyways, so for months, I couldn't look people in the eye. Every conversation felt like the somehow new. Job hunting with fraud history is a special humiliation, of course. You became excellent at hearing polite rejection. After that, eventually, a small warehouse business hired me for inventory admin after I told the owner everything up front. He said, "I trust honesty more than spotless resumes." I nearly cried in his office too. Apparently, that became my thing. I earn less now, way less. My apartment is smaller, my car is older, but when my phone buzzes, I no longer feel terror first. That's worth something. Do I regret stealing? Obviously, but not just because I got caught. I regret that it turned me into while it was working, sneaky, suspicious, and contemptuous. I started believing everyone was corrupt because I needed that excuse to myself. I mocked honest people as naive. I called greed survival and I called fraud adjustment. Language can launder anything if you let it. And here's the darkest part. If they hadn't caught me, I would have continued. Maybe bigger amounts, maybe bolder methods, maybe until prison became unavoidable. So weirdly, getting caught saved whatever was left of me. And if anyone listening is standing near the edge right now, telling yourself you deserve it, telling yourself the company won't notice, telling yourself it's temporary, then listen carefully. Maybe not, they won't notice today. Maybe not next month. Maybe not for a year. That's not mercy. That's a rope. And every time you use it, you tie another knot around your own neck. I stole from my company, I got caught, and losing everything was the first time I'd been honest in months. This is the end of my story. That's all what I wanted to say in this podcast. Thank you.